Today we are going to start picking some papaya, and as you can see, some of them, like that one my husband is touching, are starting to turn yellow. That one there, in about 2 or 3 days, is ready for eating as a sweet papaya fruit. And there's there's several of them ripening, and I'm going to also pick some green ones. Wow, they're big. I didn't expect them to grow that big. Wow. And get me that, yeah, that green one there that I'm gonna make soup. Wow, that's huge. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm out of focus because I'm looking without my camera. And over here, this is ripening. Yeah. Now look at the difference in size. And put that next to the one that those three. Look at that. And yet they're supposed to be the same type. Here, this is also turning color. That's gonna ripen. Look at that. So I don't know why some are ripening, but they're much smaller than, as you can see, big difference in size. I think you might want to pick that on the other side. Yeah, that real big one there. Pardon me. I'm so excited that I'm forgetting to focus. Okay, that's a good one. And over here, take a look at this. This one is loaded with papaya as well, as you can see. We're going to pick the first bottom papaya. First three bottom ones, because they should be the mature papaya and they should be ready to ripen. Yeah, that one is good. This one is pretty much like a mid-size.
This one here?
This one tree. The first one you harvested are much bigger, and then the second one are very small. Yeah, and this here I would say is mid-size. Among, oh, see? Oops, see? Get the bottom one here, Daddy, and that should be enough because it'll be too much.
Well, you can eat all these in one day.
No, you cannot. That's a whole lot. So that's what we have for today's harvest. In November, Zone 8B, we are harvesting papaya. And you can see,
and they're still trying to grow.
yeah, they're still blooming, as you can see up there.
And look at the flowers.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, we're in November and the temperature is changing. It's blooming still, indicating it still wants to bear fruit, but I don't know. I'm hoping that this will not die during the winter. But we're in transition right now. We're moving to the other house and we got lots and lots of things to do. And I doubt it that I can really pay much attention to everything in my garden. My garden is being ignored right now. But I do want to be able to taste the papaya that we put so much effort on growing this year. And so there are the papayas we harvested. So well, the lighting is a little bit dim, but after 3 days, 3 days since we harvested these papayas, and these three here are starting to turn color. When we picked, it was like that. This one is just barely starting, and as you can see, that one is getting there too. These two are ready to be eaten as sweet fruit for breakfast or any time of the day you'd like to enjoy this papaya. Now the rest I purposely harvested green because I will be cooking them as vegetables. Okay, so you can enjoy the papaya as sweet fresh fruit any time of the day, and you can enjoy it as well as part of your meal. And there's a lot of ways you can cook green papaya as well as making pickle out of them called achara. Green papaya, or papaya in general, is a very versatile fruit and vegetables. And we are now in fall, and this is my first harvest of papaya, and I promise you I will be enjoying a lot more. There's a lot more papaya out there that we need to pick before very cold winter really sets in. Okay, so here we are, January 9th, 2022. And as you can see, we are still harvesting papaya, and we have more to go. And as I will be showing you, that we also have papaya growing in our greenhouse, and those two papayas in there are doing very well, as well as the ones on the outside. We're actually picking some more, and as you can see, there they are. These are ripened right on the tree, and the green ones are perfect for my cooking. As you can see, we can grow papaya in zone 8, or 8B to be precise, South Carolina, and it's a very plentiful harvest for me as far as my papaya harvest is concerned in the area where I'm at. We're having luckily a very nice mild weather, winter weather this year, and as you can see, papaya is very bountiful. So what you're looking at here is my pickled papaya, also known as achara. And as you can see, I have one that I opened to show you how I made this. These are grated papaya, which I have pickled with vinegar, garlic, and other spices. As you can see, I have given and shared some of this to my children, and I still have a lot for myself. And one thing about this papaya, this is like a very irresistible type of sauerkraut for me. I can put this with any sandwiches, including hot dogs or sausages, and it will really spice it up. It's so delicious. I might, when I find a time, I might make this again and show you how it's done. But I'm sure that you will find this, a lot of recipe of this type of pickled papaya. There'll be a lot of recipe in YouTube, that if those of you who would like to try this, because you have so much papaya like we have been harvesting since I believe that was November 2021, last year. We started our harvest, and we are now in January 9th, 2022, and we are still harvesting, and we have more to go. And here is another example of what you can do with green papaya, besides just eating it, a sweet ripe papaya like this, ripened from the tree. You can pickle the greens or make soup out of the greens, as you can see. And if you like coleslaw, sauerkraut like I do, you will definitely have a taste bud for this. It is just, to me, hard to stop to eat this once I get started, so I better not put this one. As you can see, I'm starting to put it in a fork and get ready to taste it, but it will be so irresistible for me to stop eating. So I will hold back until I'm done with this video, and let me show you again. These are the harvest for today, January 9, 2022. And here I have, I'm backing up so I could give you a better shot a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 pot of uh, papaya here. Unfortunately, the ones I planted last year did not make it, but from the look of it, I'm still not giving up because I believe I can grow this papaya here, given if I give it a good shelter for the winter, which we are planning to keep this in the greenhouse and then plant it directly to the ground next year. So that's my papaya. And here, if you're wondering how my papaya, which I also decided to keep in this porch, that's my papaya right there. And here's one more. I have a total of 6 papayas, which I am overwintering here on the porch. And let me show you how I'm preventing this from getting too tall for my porch. As you can see, pardon me, that one plant right there, I really cut this back to almost half of the entire plant. But as you can see right there, there's a new growth coming out from that. Now, I did have 4 of them, which I am topping off, but not cutting it back as much as I did that one right there. Let's cut back to almost half of the plant. And as you can see this here, what I'm doing is topping them off and keeping them nice and tall, but I'm continually topping this off so that it don't go too tall for this room. And let me show you this here. This is a bud, papaya bud. This will open up and turn into a flower. It's wanting to grow flower, bear fruit, but I just throw it down there. But it is not very, the temperature, or rather in general, the weather is not very conducive into allowing this papaya tree to bear fruit. So what I'm doing is cutting it back and just keeping it healthy, providing it the necessary nutrient it needs to continue growing nice and healthy and strong. And as you can see, this is where I cut the papaya, as you can see right there. And because I topped it up, it actually, as you can see, developed 2 new stems right there. And most likely come springtime, when I'm ready to plant this out there, each if not all of this papaya plant, most of them will have two branches. It will have a split trunk like this one. And this one here, which I also I tapped that up, but as you can see, it only have one straight trunk or base. As you can see, from the base up, it remained single stem right there. But if I top that off, chances are it might split as well, like this one here, as you can see. So actually there's another one here that is single stem. No, actually there's a little shoot, a sucker on the side on that one, as you can see, as well as this one. See that little sucker here, which I could easily just trim off and keep this one main thicker stem right there. So this is how my papayas are looking right now. Pretty much keeping it low, keeping it short, not to overgrow here in my porch and get my porch really crowded. So for the time being, that's what I got going. I will give you an update of anything significant, if any significant changes that takes place on any of these plants that I'm overwintering in my porch. I will give you an update of that. Okay. So the reason why we put a netting over this papaya was that the heat is not allowing the papaya to keep the blooms. They were actually dropping them. It was just too much of a heat and humidity. And as you can see, I believe it works. Pardon me. I'm gonna try to give you a close-up of see the blooms right there? And back there, hopefully I can show you. You can see that they seems to be hanging on to their blooms right there. I don't know if it's showing. I'm trying to hang on to the netting to keep it open, but I'm not getting a good shot. Let me see if I could go on the other side. Whew, it's hot. So you can see my papaya is putting out lots of fruits. Okay. And that one back there as well. Let me focus on it so you can see. You can see that it's also bearing fruits. Oh wow. Let me show you the other one back there. A nice size, as you can see right there. And back there the fruits are even, pardon me, I have to reposition myself to get a better shot of the other one at the back, which actually have bigger fruits than the one I'm showing you, like this one here. This one got lots of fruits and it's still fruiting. If you look all the way on top, as you can see all of those blooms now. My question is, how far would this papaya bear fruit? I mean, how far can it go and keep its fruit? Because we are now heading towards autumn, so we're July, mid-July, August, September. So then we'll be facing the fall season, and hopefully we get some decent papaya out of this. And as you can see, that one right there still have lots and lots of blooms. If I could focus it, it does not want to focus, right? Come on. Okay. So the question is, how much harvest can we get out of all of this papaya? I actually have two more papayas bearing fruit in the greenhouse. So the greenhouse we are trying to secure, and hopefully we can keep it through the winter again. And we are going to try and see if we keep it growing until the next spring 2022. Right now, as you can see, these are the papaya I overwintered last winter 2020 and planted it out here in spring 2021. So this papaya actually have about almost 1.5 years worth of growth and is now producing. Actually, during the winter, pardon me, I believe I showed you how I was literally I was plucking the blooms because it wants to bear fruit right on my porch during the winter season. So now we are in July, mid-July, and as you can see, they're bearing fruits. And so we've been having very, very heavy, strong wind and heavy rain this last 2 weeks, and finally we're getting sun, and we decided we'll start working in a garden. And what you're looking at is one of my papaya tree that's inside the greenhouse, and as you can see, the weight of the fruit brought my papaya tree down. And it's not just the weight of the fruit, of course the heavy rain and wind that's going through this greenhouse also affected it. But we're going to try to see if we could salvage the tree. My husband will put a support here and maybe give this papaya enough time to mature, and hopefully the papaya fruits would mature and ripen. As it is at this stage, I can harvest quite a few of them and make pickled or achara out of this papaya fruits. But we're gonna try to bring it upright and see if we could give it more time so that it could mature a little better. I'll show you that when my husband is ready to work on it. Here in the greenhouse, as you can see, I have two of my hens in here. This during a very windy night, and strong downpour, this papaya fell, but it's got lots of fruit in it. And well, it's maturing. So we can also harvest this, but since this is inside the greenhouse, I'm not going to worry about picking any of it right now. And my hands are not showing any interest on the papaya, so I guess it's safe. Oh my, they have all the eggs in there. And as you can see, there goes more papaya. And this is my greenhouse where we decided to put 2 of our papayas. So they're coming along really well in here, even when a heavy downpour and strong wind knocked this one down, but it seems to be still nourishing the papaya. They're growing really big, as you can see right there.